Human trafficking is a dark industry that abuses and exploits people of all ages. And when a person is rescued from a trafficker, they're left with many years of past trauma and oftentimes substance abuse issues as well.
Refuge for Women is a nonprofit, faith-based organization providing specialized long-term care for women who have escaped human trafficking or sexual exploitation. Joining us by phone today is Ked Frank, founder and president of the organization. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's good to be with you all this morning.
So first, tell us more about the nonprofit, because I know there are a lot of locations across the country, correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, we started back in 2010 is when we opened up our very first home here in Garrett County, right here in central Kentucky, and started serving women who, as you all explained, have just come out as just some of the darkest things that any of us can want to think about or stomach, and you know, providing a safe place for them to heal and to be able to work through just some of the difficulty, traumas, addictions, and to be able to dream about the future again. And from there, it's grown. And so today, what started right here in central Kentucky has grown to now 7 locations across the country. And we've got 8 open houses, and we've got 65 beds right now available for women to be served and be able to just provide a safe place for them.
Wow. I think so often, too, it's tough for people to kind of wrap their minds around this, that it does exist right here in Kentucky, just because a lot of times we don't see it right in front of our faces. It is still here in the state. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah. Sometimes when we think about trafficking and we think about just some of these things that are happening to women, we do think about maybe they're happening in just, you know, in places and big cities across the country, you know, or they're happening overseas and places like that. But the reality is it's right here in our backyard. And, you know, there was a study done by law enforcement here just recently where they interviewed 300 survivors of trafficking. And, you know, the amazing thing is 94% of the 300 were trafficked for the very first time by family members when they were kids.
Wow.
And so, you know, as we continue to see, you know, drug addiction be a problem in our state, you're going to continue to see people be desperate and people doing things that, you know, are just, you know, hard to imagine. But again, desperation causes them to do these kind of things. And so, you know, again, it's not always people that are snatching them and putting them into, you know, prostitution and things like that. A lot of times it's family members who are taking vulnerable kids and using them, you know, selling them and to get drugs or to, you know, pay off debts and things like that.
Sure.
Ked, how can people get help? How can they find you guys and get the help that they need?
Yeah, well, the good news is just earlier this week we opened up an emergency house for the state of Kentucky that's 16 beds. It's the first of its kind, and this was something law enforcement told us about that they were needing, because when they find somebody, they need to put her into a safe place immediately. And so a lot of times they take her to jail and just to keep her safe. But you know, people may know of somebody who needs to get off the streets or, you know, get out of a dangerous situation and get into a place. And we just opened up that home this week. And so if they go to our website, refugeforwomen.org, the contact information is on there. You know, our offices are on Waller Avenue, but they would be able to get her into our long-term program or into our short-term program, which is the emergency house that was just opened. People can also follow us on Facebook as well, and we're updating that daily. Another way people can support if they're interested is you know, our residents have started making candles as a way to be able to find employment during the COVID-19. Many of our residents lost their jobs as a result of that. And so we actually started a social enterprise. And so if they go to our website or to Survivor Made, another way that people can support is if they purchase a candle, it's given employment to women who are desperately needing that employment.
Well, very important topic and some good resources there. Ked, thanks so much for chatting with us today. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys very much.